What's up, world? It's Chris Anthony coming at you live one more time, and today what I want to be talking about is the persona. Now I got the headphones jack set up so that means I'm feeling myself. I'm in my flow, and I want to talk to you about what the persona is. The persona is a mask. It's the part of yourself that you put on in order to be perceived by other people. It's the part of yourself that you actually make up in order to fit into society, in order to fit in with the in crowd, in order to be a part of what other people say is cool and the trends and all these different things that go on that you think you're not good enough to participate in, or you think that what somebody thinks about you is not good enough, or your authentic self is not good enough. So what you do is you create this mask, you create this personality, this persona that you go outdoors with, and you put it on every time you wake up. You wear it whenever you go to work, whenever you go to church, whenever you are out with your friends, whenever you're in your relationship, whatever. Whenever you're not by yourself, it's a persona that you have. This persona is an aspect of yourselves that you want others to perceive at the end of the day. But it's a shell of yourself, it's a mask. Now the problem happens when you actually get stuck into your persona. You get stuck inside of this mask, this ego, this alter ego, and it's not really you. It's just something that you created. It's actually a monster that you created because it's something that you made without your vulnerability, something that doesn't have your weaknesses inside of it, doesn't have the things that make you stand out and stick out like a sore thumb. Your uniqueness is not inside of it. It's whatever you created in order to be a go-getter, to go after the things that you want, to be a cool person, to be an attractive person, to be a sexy person, to be all of these things. You put it all together, you formulated, you thought about it. Like it was some point in your life, maybe when you were younger, where people laughed at you for being original, for being yourself, for being your essence. And so you went home and you started to formulate all of these different things. That's what we all do when we're younger. Like in school, we formulate a persona. We formulate this mask that we can put on every day and be strong, be tough, be cool, be laid back, be attractive. We do it to connect, to relate to other people. But when you start becoming your persona, then what happens is you lose yourself, you lose your originality, you lose your essence, you lose your authenticity. And the crazy thing is you were trying to be real, you were trying to be connected, you were trying to actually relate to people, but what happens is you're becoming unrelatable at the end of the day, because you're becoming a shell of who you used to be, a shell, a mask. Yet the persona is just a shell of who you are. It's an aspect of who you are, but it's not who you are. But if you get lost in it, then what happens is you become that shell. And how do you know you're in a persona? Because the persona never stops wanting what it wants. It never gets satisfied. It never gets fulfilled. It's always hungry. It always wants more. It always wants more money. It wants more drugs. It wants more sex. It wants more. Like it always wants more, and it's never satisfied. And that's the crazy thing about the persona, because it was created by you. It was created to be something that had this type of drive, this type of like strong strength to it. But you're finding out, and what happened with me is I was finding out that this persona was just a shell of who I was, and I was going closer and closer into my persona, and the persona is never gratified. It always wants gratification, but it's never satisfied at the end of the day. Like it's the thing that the persona says is, give me more. I want more. I want more, I want more. Like that's the persona yelling at you in the back of your head. Like it wants to go out some more, it wants to drink some more, it wants to smoke some more, it wants to party some more, it wants to live life to the fullest, it wants to be high some more. Like that is what the persona does, and it never is satisfied. So at the end of the day, like I said, it's a monster that you created and you don't even know that it exists inside of you. Meanwhile, you have your soul, you have your essence, you have the authentic part about you, about yourself, that's lying there, and it's actually trying to call you back to the authenticity. It's trying to call you back to the essence. But that won't happen until you get tired of trying to satisfy your ego. You're trying to satisfy your persona, and it's the thing that you made up, but it doesn't get satisfied. And what happens is you start to burn out from trying to satisfy. You're chasing after all of these things because you said one day, I'm going to get this, I'm going to be the best, I'm going to be, somebody that's attractive, I'm going to be somebody that's the best, at the end of the day. So you're chasing after after all of these things and you think that it's really what you want, but it's what your persona wants, because you kept adding certain things, attributes on this persona to make it better and better and better. So you thought really you was making it hungrier and hungrier. So your ego or your persona is the thing that's taking away your life force. It's taking away your energy, because you're becoming a shell of yourself. And when you find that you're deeper and deeper into your persona, you see that you are like a shell. You don't have any essence inside of you. You don't have any type of realness, any type of authenticity. And people start to realize this. They say you only want this, or you only want that, or you're really not real. You, at the end of the day, because you become a shell of yourself. You become your mask. If you ever seen the movie The Mask, it was about a guy who was like a pushover. Jim Carrey starred in it, and he wasn't getting what he wanted out of life. He couldn't get the amount of money he wanted, the position he wanted, the female that he wanted at the end of the day. So he was down and out, and he found this mask, this mystical thing that he can put on his face, and it actually would give him everything he needed: the confidence, the swagger, the determination, all of the connects. Like, and he went out and got everything that he wanted, like the amount of money, whatever chick he wanted to get. You understand? Like, he made connections with anybody that he wanted to connect with because he had this mask, and that was symbolic of the persona, the alter ego, or the ego that you created in order to accomplish things in life. But what happened to him is he got lost in the mask, so much so that he couldn't take the mask off, and the mask was actually consuming him. It was making him do things that he never would have done on his own accord. It was making him, you know, have a drive and a hunger that he couldn't satisfy. He wanted more money, more women, more connections, more success. Like, he just wanted more and more and more. And that's the thing about the persona. It leaves you in this place where you're wanting more and you can never get fulfilled because it's not actually you. And when you start to connect back with your soul, the first step to it is to actually get into a place where you are not worrying about what other people think, because the first sign of the persona is worrying about what somebody else will think. It's worrying about what somebody is going to say about how you did this or how you did that, how somebody is going to view your actions. That's what the persona is always think on. It's always linked to something that's external, because you made it for the external world. You put it out there and created this monster, or you created this mask so that other people can view it. You did it for the external world. It wasn't for you, you did it for them. So that's what the persona is always focused on. It's focused on what somebody else is going to say, how somebody else is going to think about me. What is somebody going to say when I do this, or when I do that, or when I say this? Do I look weird? And the persona is always self-conscious, so it's always trying to combat that. It's like your defense mechanism. It's always trying to combat what it is that's coming against it at the end of the day. So when it comes down to you figuring out if you're in a persona or if you're actually in your soul, like your essence, at the end of the day, your essence is going to be something that brings you happiness. It's just going to be internal. You don't have to reach out to get external things if you're connected to your soul. If you're back in your soul and out of your persona, then you don't think about what other people are thinking about you. And the way to get back there, if you're not there, is the two words, the greatest two words that I ever had to use in my life was "so what." And that's how you shed off the mask, you shed your persona. You say, so what? So what if people think this about me? So what if they think I'm crazy? So what if they think that I'm ugly? So what if they think I'm fat? So what if they think I'm skinny? So what? So what, man? So what? So what if you think I'm weird? So what if you think that, you know, I don't fit in with that crowd? That's cool. That's cool. And that's how you start to escape the persona, because the persona cares what people think. It cares how much money it can get, or how much it can get to gratify it. It cares about all of that stuff. Now, I'm not saying not to care about money, but I'm talking about if you're doing it for other people to see your status and to see who you are and to congratulate you. That's what the persona wants. It wants that acceptance. It wants that praise. And when it comes down to your soul level of consciousness, when it comes down to what you have going on inside of your soul, your essence, it doesn't need all of that. All it needs is the things that make it happy internally, and that's where happiness comes from. It's an internal thing. It's not an external thing. You don't get it from taking a trip around the world, or getting $1 million, or getting the baddest chick, or the baddest dude if you're a female. You don't get it from that. You get it from your soul internally. being with yourself, loving yourself, but the persona will take that away from you because it's always out to get something from the external world. It's always to see what it can grab, what it can take over, what it can conquer, who it can impress. You know, it's always trying to fit in to the crowd and be the best and get the praise and play the game the best, but it will take away from your inner self, and you're going to get tired of it. You actually eventually burn out from being the persona. You burn out from it, and what happened with me is I burnt out from trying to keep up with the hunger that you had to feed the persona with, that you got to feed the ego with, all of the things that makes it gratified. It never is satisfied though, and I burned out from it, and I had to actually come and be alone with myself to find out, okay, what's going on? Let me get back to what's inside of me, what I'm feeling inside of myself, instead of thinking about how other people feel about me and where other people see me at and what I want to do so other people will praise me or accept me. No. Let me get back to what I accept, my self-acceptance, my self-love. What you have to do is shut it all out. You have to shut out the stuff or the things that you're thinking about doing for the external reality and for your external satisfaction, because you're not going to get it from out there. It's not coming. Your peace, your happiness, your satisfaction is not going to come from anything external. And that's what the trick of the ego is, or the trick of that mask, that persona is to chase it externally. And it's actually going to come from the inside. So you have to get alone. You have to, you know, develop some gravity within yourself instead of gravitating to everywhere where everybody else is going to go. You have to be alone with yourself and learn yourself once again. Learn where your authenticity is, your unique expression, and then start being that. And that's actually going to give you happiness, fulfillment, peace, balance, all of that, to where you're not running after all these external things just to feel that, because you know that your unique self is you, and it doesn't matter what anybody else thinks about it. And let them wait. That's the biggest thing that I want to say, even though it's at the end. I meant to put this on the inside of what I was talking about, but let them wait. So what? And let them wait. You have to not care what other people think about you in order to shed that persona, shed that mask, stop putting it on. Shakespeare said the whole world is a stage and the men and women merely players inside of it. So step off the stage or be yourself on the stage. Either way it goes, take the mask off, take the persona off, take the ego off, and start being unique. Start to express yourself how you want to express yourself, not how you think people will perceive it, whether it's good or bad. Do that, and you'll win at the end of the day. It's Chris Anthony. I'll be back.